Hi everyone, welcome to Friday Focus, where I put the focus on you, the real business owners. Now this week we're going to be talking about why it's so important to have a good online presence. We're going to be talking to wedding photographer and videographer Chris Randle about that in just a sec. Hi Chris.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for joining us. So we're going to be talking to him in just a moment about his journey with that and his experience of having an online presence in his business. But I just wanted to have a quick chat through why it is so important. So, if you're just starting out in business, or perhaps if you're not very tech savvy, you've been in business in a while, but you don't really know how to use, Facebook or update websites, things like that. To be honest, a lot of my clients fall into that category, so you won't be on your own there. Then you might really not put the effort in. You might procrastinate, put it off a little bit. Or maybe you just concentrate on the one platform that you do know, like Facebook, for example. But it's so important to have a good online presence. Think of it as having a kind of an online version of a physical shop. It's how potential clients find you. In terms of retail, in a physical shop, if somebody couldn't see your shop on a high street, if they were walking along the high street and they couldn't see you, why they're not going to be able to pop into the shop and buy your things. This is even more important though with services such as maybe you're searching for a solicitor or an accountant, or perhaps someone like myself who offers more of a service than a physical product. How else would you find them if it's not for an online presence or recommendation? So Google searches, people are often, if they're looking for someone like that myself, they might Google search business coach Newcastle, or something along those lines, or website designer, logo design, things like that. That's how they will find me. So it's so important to have a good online presence. Otherwise you have very little business, or you're not tapping into that potential business. Basically, these things can be expensive as well. I always think, to create a website can be pricey, because there's a lot of work involved. Perhaps you pay someone to design logos, or photo shoots, or, so you've got some photographs to go on your website, Instagram, whatever it is you use. So you've got to make sure your content works for you. So that's, not only is it important to be online in the first place, but it's important to make sure that content works for you, to make sure it reflects you and your business, so that when clients do eventually come to speak to you, they know what to expect, and they realize that you are what they want. We'll have a little chat to Chris, because he's a real business owner. He's actually one of my clients as well. He came to me a number of months ago. I've helped him with various aspects of his online presence. So Chris, do you want to, before we delve into it, just tell me a little bit about you and your business and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Chris Randle, wedding photographer and videographer, and I basically cover weddings all over the UK, Europe, stuff like that. My presence is mainly Instagram, Pinterest, then obviously my website. And yeah, I've been going for 6 years, so being able to sort of hone in on certain aspects of my online presence it's been really eye-opening, sort of having you coach me and sort of show me the way.
Oh, well, it's good to know I've helped a little bit. But yeah, just to sort of touch on something you said there, you have been going for 6 years now, and after a while you do, you can sort of home in on something more precisely, more direct things more towards your ideal client, for example, like that. Plus tastes and fashions change and things like that. So it's what's more important, even more important to have a good grasp of the online sort of world, how to update your own website, and how to do Instagram properly, things like that, so that you keep on appealing to those people. So Do you want to tell our viewers a little bit about, you know, sort of describe your journey in business, describe what your online presence is like, and perhaps, you know, maybe peaks and troughs and things like that?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, like I say, I started 6 years ago. I basically, I got quite lucky at the start because I ended up being invited to a Facebook group which was specifically for photographers, and I did have quite a bit of help from the likes of Paul Santos and the twins, to name just a few. And basically from there, I think thinking about sort of what I've learned from you over the past couple of months, and sort of looking back over how I progressed my business, I fully believe I went the wrong way about it. So I know you mentioned ideal clients there. I jumped straight in to try and get my online, like my ideal client, before I even thought about my online presence. So, I mean, I tried with SEO to get my presence up on Google, and obviously I was still posting on Facebook and Instagram, stuff like that. But I feel like that should have been my starting point. I should have focused on them more before starting to get into like my ideal client and stuff like that. I think I definitely made a mistake there in sort of how I've got a cat interrupting me now. um, how I sort of started out with my business, and over the years, sort of with Instagram especially, I mean, Instagram's perfect for photographers because we can hit a large audience. It's obviously image based, it's same as Pinterest, and it gives us a good scope of really attracting who we want to. But if you don't actually have a presence, then that's going to be difficult to do. Um, so with that in mind, I mean, like I say, starting 6 years ago, I started focusing on my ideal client, get my website out there, and after about 2-3 years, as you know yourself, when we've chatted, I had obviously a few mental health issues that sort of made me take my foot off the pedal. So I wasn't posting, even though I wasn't posting a lot to start with. I was getting that. Sorry, I've got the
I
animals
was just going
in
to
the
say that there's activity in the
background.
back. Never work with children or animals, so they say.
Yeah, yeah.
We've
Shut
got a
your door,
visit from
Jennifer.
the lovely Nash there. So,
Nash.
uh,
Yeah.
so
Anyway,
sorry, Chris,
sorry.
you were saying.
So yeah, I got after about 2-3 years was probably when I started to take my foot off the pedal altogether with my online presence. Still trying to focus on my ideal client, which was the wrong way to go about it. As a result, this year was looking to be probably one of my slowest years, even compared to my first year in business. Um, Inquiries weren't coming through, the bookings weren't coming through, stuff like that. And then obviously you've sort of took over, well, not took over, but coached. You did take over my Instagram and Pinterest. Um, and since then, I've noticed a massive increase. I think I've averaged about 8 inquiries a month since you took over. So it just goes to show what your online presence can do for a business.
Well, I think that's fantastic news to hear that you're getting the inquiries through now. I think one of the things I like about being self-employed is that Nash and Dallas are playing in the background there.
One out. Sorry.
So one of the things I love about being self-employed is that you can see the tangible results when you put the effort in. You know, when I used to be a business analyst at a bank before I became self-employed, it was a big organization. You know, if I turned up and didn't really feel like doing a day's work, you wouldn't really see any difference in the output of the organization. But being self-employed, yes, it's okay to have days off. Obviously, you do have to do that, but I love how you can see the physical results of that. So whether that be putting your efforts into your online presence, or maybe scheduling some posts, maybe having some sort of like a social media strategy, or planning your Pinterest pins and things like that. You can see the results when you put the effort in with that, and and also when you don't, and that's fine. I like being able to see kind of what's going on, and see the results of the efforts that you put in. So I think, just to sort of touch on what you said there about 2 or 3 years in, I think when you first start out in business as well, it's very 2 or 3 years does seem to be the amount of time for a lot of people. It certainly was for me when I became self-employed. At first you throw the net out wide and try and catch as many clients as possible, both online and in a physical shop sort of sense. But after 2 or 3 years, you begin to get more established in business, and you sort of begin to see who you want to work with and what suits you, and you start to be able to make some choices about your business. And I think at that point it's worth revisiting things, working on your ideal client a little bit, going into your social media and your website and things like that after you've done that ideal client work, to make sure you're appealing to those clients and you can attract more of the people you want to work with. So that's super important, definitely. So we've done work on various aspects of your online presence. I'm kind of coaching you on your new website. I think those lights are going to come down behind you at some point.
Yeah.
So I've coached you on your new website. I've helped you with your social media posting, but we've made huge leaps and bounds with your Pinterest presence as well. And I think what a lot of people kind of don't realize is that your online presences are all connected. So it's not just a case of pick one and work on it. Your Pinterest and your website, for example, are connected. You share, make your content work for you, basically. Share things from your website to your Facebook page, things like that. This very video even is going on YouTube, and then it'll be shared to my social media and put on my website. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Pinterest, and because you obviously you have sight of your Google Analytics and things like that?
Yep. So that was quite strange with Pinterest, because obviously as you worked on Pinterest and got my stats up with that, I did notice my Google Analytics from website was actually coming down, but it all seemed more quality rather than just everyone going to my website if they don't want a photographer. And that's even with my SEO climbing up as well. So that's been steadily going up as a result anyway. Well, that's probably a result of Pinterest going up as well. And in terms of like being able to schedule, like being able to get my work out there more as well, I think Pinterest has definitely helped in sort of attracting the people that I want to attract as well, because obviously it's like a search engine and searching for what they want to see. So
well, this is it. I think it's super important there what you said about the quality rather than quantity. Basically, it's and again this all kind of gets back to working on your ideal client. So if I was to post images on Pinterest of work that you did 10 years ago that no longer reflected you, or it attracted clients that you didn't really want to work with, maybe you want to focus on a certain kind of wedding, for example, or try and get weddings. I know you mentioned you liked to work on city weddings and you wanted to push more of those and things like that. So if I posted pictures of things on Pinterest or anywhere really that didn't really reflect you, then it's just going to be confusing for your clients, and when they did eventually come through to you, they would get confused and not book you anyway. So it's so important to post or pin the right sort of images that are going to attract the clients that you want to work with, and also with your wording as well. You know, all of the copy on your website, the way you word your social media posts, everything should be focused towards the types of client that you want to work with. So it's quite interesting that you see that you got more quality leads through. So that's really good. So yeah, I think you know, I think we've chatted about loads today. So, you know, I've really appreciated your input. It's great to speak to real business owners, whether they're my clients or not. And, you know, it's really good to see, like, you know, how things happen on the shop floor, as it were. So thank you very, very much for joining us, and thanks to Dallas and Nash for making a guest appearance as well. So yeah, thank you so much, and to everybody that's watching, please feel free to subscribe, click the link wherever it appears, and so you can watch more of my videos, more Friday focuses, and watch my YouTube channel develop as well. Okay, so thanks very much, guys. Bye.